Just like you, before I started going to the gym, I actually got inspired by watching David Lay, Joe Fraser transformation videos. And in that massive content consumption phase, I actually watched a lot of self-improvement, self-development videos as well. And that was when I started cutting down on my gaming addiction. I went on a bulk because of the aspiration, the motivation that I got from those videos, and I wanted to look aesthetic. I wanted to build an aesthetic V-taper body. And the first few months were rough, like the new feeling of trying to be consistent. I don't know what the hell I was doing, but after a while, it actually went pretty well. Like my body weight was increasing, everything was going as planned until I saw face fat and love handles on my body for the first time in my entire life. It was like a sudden realization, like, oh shit, my face is getting fatter, and I suddenly got love handles. And to be honest, I didn't like it whatsoever. Now that I look back, I didn't even look that bad. Like, I still had a six-pack, my face was slightly chubbier, but it wasn't unbearable for me. But I don't know why at the time, it was apparent to me that it was bad and I had to cut down. So yeah, I decided to go on a cut, and that was a very bad decision for me. And at the same time, I also transitioned into Muay Thai, so I got more consistent into Muay Thai trainings, and I wanted to fight for the first time. And for fights, you actually have to be at a lower body weight. So technically, like, the cut decision wasn't so bad because I was going to fight either way, right? So lucky I had like Muay Thai, If you're a skinny guy and you're tired of feeling like weak and skinny and low energy, low testosterone, click the first link in the description right now. I will personally help you get to your dream aesthetic body that actually attracts girls, and you won't have to worry about whether you should go on a bulk or cut, because there will be someone that guides you and you have a roadmap to actually follow instead of just being lost and looking for YouTube videos, getting shit advice from shit YouTube influencers that want you to enter their promo code when you buy something from MyProtein. And I'll be honest with you, I currently got 0 clients. I'm kind of wanting to get my first client because I know how much I can do for him. Like, imagine me one-on-one, just one person, compared to if I were to have 10 clients. Like, it will be a big difference, right? Like, the amount of interactions that you have with me, 1 to compared to 10, is like you're getting 10 times the value. It's like the best time to buy now, but I understand it might be a bit scary buying like an online product, and what if I don't deliver? That's why I got the money back guarantee. So if you are unsatisfied with the progress for whatever reason, you get your money back. And I also understand that there's a time commitment, right? So obviously I might be wasting your time if you were to work with me, but if you've seen my story so far and you want to make the transition that I did, I actually know what it takes. I've gone through the trials and tribulations to know what works and what doesn't work. So that's why you can trust me on that. So click the link in the description right now. So what is the mistake that I actually made? I abandoned my goal of bulking just because I saw a little bit of fat. Like, for me, before I started the journey, the goal was to bulk and get to a higher body weight. I did that, and then the moment I saw a bit of fat, I started to cut. If I could go back in time and I was getting slightly too fat for my liking, I would have maintained it or slightly reduced my calories, went on a lower surplus just to not lose as much. Because if I'm not wrong, I went from like 60 kg to 74, which is a huge jump, right? And then after I cut, I was back to like 68, 67, around there. So a pretty huge cut as well. Like, and the cut was within like 1 or 2 months, okay, maximum like 3 months, but it was very quick. And because of that, I probably lost like a decent amount of muscle mass. And to be honest, I looked good when I was leaner, but if I was thinking about it, I was sacrificing my future self's growth just to look lean now. If I continued the bulk and I was slightly okay with the body fat and looking slightly chubbier, I would actually be way bigger and muscular and leaner right now if I didn't make the decision in the past. Because imagine the compound effect of me bulking all the way and then me cutting when I felt like my body fat was at 20%. You can see a difference, right? Like, the one where I bulked up all the way until now would have definitely made more progress compared to the one that went on a cut back then and then bulking up again and then cutting again and then bulking again. The constant switch from bulk to cut is actually a bad thing. It's this thing called bodybuilder ADHD. Like, you constantly need a new feeling of doing something and thinking that you're actually making progress, but in fact you're just stagnant at where you are, making shallow progress. Like, when you bulk, you gain a little bit of muscle, then you start to cut down again, so you actually do lose a bit of the muscle immediately. Actually, the smartest thing that you can do is probably just to bulk for a long period of time, and then, for example, if there's a special event or for some reason like just can't handle the bulk anymore, that's when you cut down. not when you see a little bit of body fat. Actually, if you see a little bit of body fat, that's when you know that your diet is not as clean. Because if you were eating clean foods only, like real clean foods, you would gain very minimal fat and it wouldn't be visible. So if you're eating a lot of carbs, not enough protein, and you're just eating a lot of junk, sugary food, chances are your body fat is going to increase as well. But if you were to just eat clean foods, then you'll be fine. Like currently, I still eat like carbs and shit, but I did minimize my carb intake a lot and I increased my protein a lot. Like last time I didn't used to give a fuck, right, about like carbs, protein and shit. But then now, I'm actually starting to realize like the effects that it does to my body and especially my brain when I'm trying to like record videos sometimes. Like I just yap and I don't actually get to the point. And when I look back at that phase of me like immediately cutting and making the decision to cut when I saw a bit of fat, luckily I transitioned to Muay Thai because I mean it did help for me in the end, like because I had to cut down for fights. I had to go down to like 65 kgs. So it did work out in the end, but if I were to be honest, I would have cut either way if I didn't transition to Muay Thai. So yeah, like I would still be making that mistake if I didn't go to Muay Thai. It worked out in the end, and that's why I can give this lesson to you. But that's a lesson that I don't want you to go through. And if you can, just take my word for it. Bulk up all the way. This is the most progress you will make in both strength and muscle mass. And slowly cut down after a while. You don't have to immediately cut down as well. Just slowly, bit by bit, maintain it and then go on a deficit after that. Just to recap everything, don't overcomplicate things. Don't get this bodybuilder ADHD and just switch from cut to bulk, cut to bulk. Stay consistent in the bulk, and when it's actually time to cut, like you have an event or like there's something that you have to cut for, a photo shoot, then by all means go for the cut, bro. Don't have this like irrational decision making of just suddenly, oh, I want to cut, when you're not even that fat. Like I probably show like B-roll and pictures of me when I thought like I was fat. And bro, like I looked fine. Like if I continue bulking, like it wouldn't be that bad. And currently now my plans is to like bulk up again because I've recently stopped fighting already. I have 4 fights and I decided like, oh, I have no more desire to fight. I didn't really enjoy the training. So right now I'm back to bulking. Currently I'm around 67, 68 kgs. So you know, like the post fight phase. My plan is actually to bulk to 75 kg. But the hard thing is that I'm trying like to intermittent fasting because that helps with like my productivity. And I'm also trying to cut down my carbs. So for lunch I only eat like meat and eggs, and then for my dinner that's when I feast on everything. Everything including like shit food, honestly. Like yeah, recently I'm eating a lot of fried and junk shit, sugary ice cream and shit. So definitely like have to think about that more. Not very good, honestly. Like not feeling as good as I used to with a clean diet. Yeah, I don't want you to become demotivated when you have that bodybuilder ADHD, cutting and bulking, and you actually make no progress, then you quit. Like that's the last thing I want from you. So make sure you avoid that mistake and you make so much more progress compared to your friends that have this problem, and me as well. Once again, if you're a skinny guy watching this, click the link in the description. It will genuinely help me a lot as well because it will just get me the psychological win of getting a sale and actually helping someone for the first time. More like personally, one-on-one. Second time actually, but first time for real, because I feel like the first client that time, like honestly he was a nice guy and everything. Like I did help him make progress, but he wasn't a guy that was skinny, so he was like a more, body weight was higher, so it wasn't really something that I'm used to and I couldn't help him much. If I were to be honest, I could tell him the basics like, oh yeah, go to the gym and go on a deficit, but I couldn't help him much other than that. That's why I decided to only target like skinny guys. If you're not skinny, then you can ignore this part, but if you're skinny, then you'll definitely benefit a lot more from just joining the program and yeah, working with me one-on-one. It'll be fun and there's no risk from you as well, you know, like the money back guarantee, and the only risk is like your time. But if you're being honest, like if everything was going well and your progress was good in the gym, you wouldn't be watching a video like this, because you would really be equipped with the skills and knowledge and everything to actually make progress to your goals. So that's why really consider joining, and click the link in the description, watch the video, watch the VSL that I've created. Just see if it piques your interest. Thanks for watching.